Yo, everybody, welcome back. Today we have a special episode for you. The market's moving maybe a little spookily for most, but this isn't anything too crazy from what we were looking at in our last video. We broke our low today in today's candle, trading down to roughly 39.6. However, the important note here is September's low not broken. We've seen some buying off that support. And if we zoom it on in, chart's not looking too bad. You can see it came just shy, didn't break the low. So at this point, consider this maybe a double bottom. Could see some reversal. Really, the chart's not looking too terrible. Fear and greed did notch back up, which is odd on yesterday's close, maybe because we finally got green candle closes. But our indicators are starting to look not so bad, and the better today closes, the stronger we get on a daily close. And this chart on the daily is going to start looking good. We've been waiting for a bounce. The sell-off has had really no relief, and that is an unsustainable downtrend. So we're going to be keeping our eyes peeled today, especially maybe on a green close of the daily. It'll be 3 in a row. We might see our indicators start to roll over. Our daily market cipher has given us that magic green dot. Take it or leave it. MACD momentum is waning on the sell side for the second day potentially here. That's going to be driven home by a strong close. And finally, real quick, we look at these two lows from September to today, and we see that RSI has reached a new low. Price did not. So we are sitting potentially at bullish divergence on a little reversal here. So hopefully everybody's not too freaked out. We're going to keep an eye during this live stream. We should be live for a while because we have a special guest today. Hope you guys are excited. And that is, let me turn on this video. But Miss Team Crypto, the famous Miss Team Crypto. How you doing today?
I'm chilling, enjoying the vibes. Just dropped another NFT in the chat. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for having me.
She's NFT making it rain. These are likely like the first NFTs a lot of these people have. Maybe not. I don't know.
Really? That would be awesome. It's really simple to create a wallet too.
Yeah, I did that. I was telling you earlier. In Miami, someone gave me QR codes, and I scanned one, and it was immediately like, you can just set up a Wax wallet, and I did. Yeah. It took me 0 seconds roughly. So yes, make a wallet, get some NFTs. She's gonna send me one. She said after the show. So. Yay. I think that'll be like my second NFT ever. It's a big deal.
That's awesome.
And my first one is not so cool, so don't look at that.
You're all good. This one will be zesty. Don't worry about it.
Zesty. I like the word zesty. I say spicy a lot, and I feel as if zesty and spicy maybe go together. It's like kind of cooking words.
They coincide. They coincide for sure.
I dig it. Well, how are you feeling about the market right now? You're Gen X, you said, right? Or Gen Z?
Gen Z, yeah.
Gen X, yeah. How do you feel as a youngin? I promise I won't ever call you a youngin again. How does this make you feel? These red days?
Honestly, I'm not worried about these red days. You know, I tweeted a few days ago, when there's blood in the streets, buy Bitcoin. Stay zesty and buy Bitcoin, because this is just, a little bit of a dip. I'm not worried about it. I've seen Bitcoin, go really high and then crash 50%. I'm not worried about it. I know this is a long-term thing. And I know that Bitcoin has such a big future, and we're still so early in this space. So if you can smash by $5, buy the dip.
I love the attitude. I love the attitude.
Thank you.
Definitely. This is what's kind of surprising to me here right now is we saw, the same thing in May. It's like May, June, July. We moved down 50%, kind of did, we're not quite there now, but we're close to 50% from 69,000. And people are freaking out like it's the end of the world. I think maybe we have something to learn from the younger generation. There's time, people enter this space and think it's kind of like a get-rich-quick scheme, and it definitely isn't. I'm sorry to burst people's bubbles. But from what I've seen is it's a get-rich-eventually scheme, and that's way better than my life was before crypto. So I think probably a lot of your viewers are tuned in, hopefully here watching. You guys, you have such an advantage. Time is the biggest asset, I think, in investing overall. I'm curious, I have totally lost touch with the young generation. I guess I'm old now. How do you guys view work, finance? I know that these things weren't really on my mind when I was at that age. I wish they were. But I know that we kind of all had a collective thought about it. So I'm curious kind of where you think, your generation is at in that.
It's an extensive, kind of scope of things. My generation, we're very bullish on life, I feel, and there's a lot of things that we learn just because we've had things like our phones mostly our entire lives. We've grown up on the internet, and having a lot of information at your fingertips, you find out a lot very early. And I think that a lot of kids I'm seeing are trying to find things that they're interested in, go after their passion. I think that's like a big thing with Gen Z. We want to go after our passion, what makes us happy, and make it successful. I think especially now with the, coming about in emerging tech and Web3, blockchain, it's going to open up the doors for a lot of people to not only realize they could be their own bank, but, be their own store using crypto and blockchain. So I think a lot of my generation is going to flow into this, but it's just a matter of time. But overall, I think we're we want to be independent. We want to be our own boss and create our own business.
Yeah, those are admirable goals. I think I see that more and more kind of regardless of age. I somehow stumbled into it. But like moving away from the traditional workday, moving away from the 9 to 5. And we see that a lot with kind of, the advent of TikTok and all these huge accounts on TikTok. I think streaming, this isn't necessarily crypto related, but kind of like streaming and stuff, being your own boss, kind of taking your future into your own hands. I think crypto goes hand in hand with that pretty well.
Of course.
It's exciting. I think that you guys are on the right track. Don't end up, I said this to you earlier, don't end up like millennials. You don't want to be us. And I think you guys have enough time to position. It's a good thing.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think, there's a lot of younger people on TikTok, like you were saying before, that are very successful. There's a Netflix show that just came out called Hype House. And, a lot of, especially kids my age might be like, oh, they're just like cringe or whatever. But these are 18 to 20, I would say 22-year-old kids living in one house and using their content and their creativity to be their own business and pay the rent. I think it's very admirable. No matter what content they create, they're like, whether they're streamers or just regular TikTokers or educators, they're working together. They're being their own boss. They're taking a different road than a lot of other people.
Yeah, it definitely. I definitely will say it does. It does have that cringe factor, but what isn't a cringe factor is these people are succeeding at a young age.
Exactly.
And like that, I don't have to love it, or whoever else doesn't have to love it. I'm going to check it out, but like it doesn't matter what they're doing. They're living the dream. It's kind of like the crypto dream too. So.
Yeah, and no matter what you choose, I'm sorry, but no matter what you choose to do, there's always work behind it.
Absolutely. Yeah, this channel, we just hit 50,000 subscribers today. I forgot.
Go!
Today. So now Bitcoin can moon. That's the deal we had, is Bitcoin was waiting for us. But I didn't start that way. Like, there was a year where nobody watched me, at least. And it's like everything, no matter how much we might like something or not content wise, like there's a lot of work and there's a lot of stuff that people don't see. And my experience has been, if you just stick with it, eventually you succeed. It just doesn't really move as fast as you'd like. Maybe that even translates out to trading and crypto too, is you can get there with consistency. Kind of expecting something to happen right away is not a great bet in my experience.
Yeah, I mean, concerning crypto and everything, it's all gonna happen. And when you're, especially like you starting your own business, content creating, I see, I relate to you. It's hard work and it's dedication, but it's also like we do it because we love it. And I think that's a lot of like similarities with a lot of other content creators or just people starting their own business in general, that, we're going after our passion. And I feel like that's zesty in itself.
Oh, so zesty. Where do you see yourself in a few years? Because I'll tell you what, when I started, I was totally blind. Like I was like, I'm just gonna keep doing this. I have no idea what my goal is. I don't know where this is gonna take me, but I just kept going. Do you have like maybe a 5-year kind of plan, or how do you see Miss Teen Crypto going into the future?
honestly, since I started, this has just been like a whirlwind of just a lot. And I first started off just tweeting, and then my community grew. So I wanted to grow with them, and I wanted to create content. And then I saw I really love this, and I want to do this forever. And, a lot of my big goals where I see myself in 5 years is doing more education, whether that be on national TV. I've been on Fox Business a few times, whether that's going to conferences and teaching people in person, obviously continuing my content, like, just stuff for beginners, my interviews on the streets. I really want to expand on that as well. I have my own podcast, the Misc Crypto Show, where I've had such a stellar lineup of people so far. So I really just want to keep doing what I'm doing and expand on every single thing, because I'm just like so passionate about everything right now. And this space, like we were talking about before, Tom, is so early that there's just so much education that has to be, spread, and there's so many people that have to learn. So it's just very exciting. I just want to keep expanding on every single thing.
Absolutely. Ooh, that reminds me, we didn't shill anything, guys. Follow Misc Crypto, Twitter and YouTube. I think it's both at Misc Crypto. Links in the video description below. Also, smash the likes for this stream. Let's get a little hype going, everybody. We can do better than 93. We can do better. There's the shill. You don't have to follow me today.
Another NFT.
Oh, there you go. Well, it's gonna be like 1 second because we got like 95.
All right, cool. Now
NFTs
97.
are dropping. They're dropping.
NFTs are dropping for real.
With the education thing, so I wonder if you've experienced this too. So you've met people who obviously don't know what crypto is, right? That's like most people. And it's very difficult, I've found, to even your best friends, like to get them into crypto. Even my best friend in the whole world knows what I do. He's seen me do this for years. The only crypto he owns is like what I've like given him over the years of like, you have to just hold on to this because I'm not going to babysit you. I found really that it's like education is the key, because once it really applies to anyone, once they see the value in this space, once they see what makes it work. Because even as a computer online gamer guy myself, when I first heard of crypto, I was like, why would I want internet like $0.dollars? It doesn't make sense. And all it took was, maybe a few years later, finally looking into blockchain and what really differentiates this from internet points or something. And education is clearly the way to do it. Have you found any specifically successful way on, I don't want to say converting, but getting people to make that first step? Because I really think that's the most important push.
For me, when I first got into crypto, what drew me in was how easy it was to use. Scan a QR code, copy and paste an address. That's it. You're sending money. So that was what drew me in. And I feel like that's what draws a lot of people in, just like showing them how easy it is to use. Just like how before talking to your chat, I was just saying, go on wallet.wax.io, create a wallet. There you go. You can get an NFT right there. I think it's just actually getting into it and using it. I think there's just a big, I don't want to say stigma because that's not the word for it, but I want to say there's a barrier. You think like people think that you have to be like, above the rest, or like a nerd or like a coder to look into cryptocurrency, but it's just so easy to use. I feel like this is like at the beginning of the email era where people were still sending letters to each other, not really using the internet to talk to one another. But I feel like it's just going to eventually happen without people knowing it. Like people are going to use crypto to transact, or they're going to use NFTs without knowing they're using NFTs. I think, that's when it really comes in. But education is really key. I think just showing people how to use it is what draws them in, like the actual touching the buttons.
And NFTs have blown me away. Our viewers here, like we aren't, well, maybe we are, and I'll speak for myself. I don't spend that much time like on NFTs. We're more chart analysis-y and can't really do that with NFTs in the same way. But what I have noticed, and especially I noticed this in Miami when I went in December, the amount of people that just have joined the space based on NFTs is mind-boggling to me. The conference I was at had 4,500 attendees, and there was another conference going on at the same time in Miami at the like NFT something FTX arena. I don't remember. There was two, and we filled two stadiums, like two giant convention centers. That's not what I know of crypto in a good way, of kind of like you said, nerdy or codery people in a room somewhere, maybe it's just like the physical or visual element to it that's brought in more people or something. Because it's certainly, how do we explain crypto to people is a question I always tackle, or always am trying to tackle. People don't even have an anchor to like think about crypto. There, how do you compare it to something in real life? Yeah, if you play soccer, this is one of my favorite. It's like you don't know, or you don't have to know how to play football, or I won't do that because they're the same one. Soccer and basketball, you might know one of them, you might not know the other, but you can probably piece it together. You're like, there's two teams, they score points, one of them wins. But with crypto, we don't really have that anchor. What is it like? I don't know. It's not really like anything other than maybe the internet. And people don't really, they use the internet, but they don't really understand the internet. I'm guilty of that too. I don't know exactly what makes everything work. That's been a big tackle for me, and maybe NFTs is kind of sliding into that niche of, hey, look, there's something you can actually, I don't know, interact with or view or do something with, versus, you have an encrypted wallet that has coins based on a ledger of transactions. Like that already people's brains are kind of turning off.
I mean, I totally see that, but yeah, like talking to Gen Zers, it's like easy because we're just like, it's like digital cash. Like we all know how to transact over the internet and everything like that. But like you were saying before, which is such a good point, is like nobody, like not nobody, because obviously people do, but most people do not know how the internet works. But also a lot of people, including myself, do not know how tap and pay works. Or whether that be a physical debit card tapping to a register or my phone tapping on a register. I don't know the back end. I don't know how it works, but I know my money gets from my wallet to the merchant or whoever I'm using. I know it gets there. I think crypto, it's going to be the same people, the same type of thing, or the same concept. You know that your money's going to get there, one place to the other. It's just people feel like this is a new technology, so they want to know the back end of things, which is great. But I think in the future, it's just not going to be as complicated. Like people are just going to use it.
Yeah. And this, email had the same kind of origin where it's like, no one's ever going to use this. I don't know how email works. That didn't work out. Email's a fad, right?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how email works. I'll say it. I don't know how email works, but I can send them. And I think at the end of the day, that's really what matters, is you can interact with them.
Yeah. Like we send a text message. How do we know how the text, like even the pushing the button to get the letter? We don't know how that works. We don't know the coding behind pressing a button, getting the letter, and then sending the message. There's codes behind everything. We don't know how it works, but we know that it gets there. So I feel like it's almost the same thing. But again, like, the people wanting to know how blockchain works is a great thing as well, because then you look into blockchain, so this is something you could see transactions, where money's moving. Why can't we see that in the regular financial system, where all this money is going and how money is created and things like that? It just like sparks a lot of questions in your mind.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Why can't we see everything else? I think it's because someone doesn't want us to, obviously, right?
I guess so. Yeah. We need transparency in a lot of things. I think Web3 itself and blockchain, it's going to switch up a lot of like the traditional infrastructure, whether that be in markets or finance in general. Honestly, everything.
Yeah, I've said for a while, it's like, crypto is here to stay. That doesn't mean every project, everything is going to be around in a few years. Things are going to shift. But all these projects are looking to solve problems. Some of them are problems that blockchain really doesn't need to solve, or maybe there isn't really a problem there at all. But what's good is it just keeps trying. It's like Darwin-y, it's just trying to push and fill every void. And of course, there's going to be failures. And the real kind of path, or the real like true destiny of crypto, we might not even know. We might not even... like 2-3 years ago, NFTs and CryptoKitties, no one thought CryptoKitties were going to be rattling the world.
Exactly.
In 2021, are maybe in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever, there's a totally different use for all of this that we never saw coming, and maybe that changes the world. Yeah, I think that's very possible.
Yeah, like think about it. CryptoPunks were given away for free, and look at what they're worth. I think so. Yeah.
I got scammed. I didn't get one.
in 2017, and now look at how valuable they are. Especially what you were saying before about NFTs bringing adoption, like heck yeah, like I feel like NFTs is something that a lot of people can relate to. Like a lot of people collect things, whether that be coins, baseball cards, really anything. People understand the point of collecting things or collecting art. So now, the proof of where it came from, how many of that particular thing are in circulation, that transparency, I think is what it brings a lot of people into NFTs. Like imagine having a mint number 1 of the first ever Nirvana album and knowing you have that.
I think music is I think music is going to be it's like the one kind of niche in this NFT market that I think there are people trying to capitalize on, but I don't think it's gotten like the real kind of attention yet that it deserves. I think that's really where we're going to see some big moves, because artists everywhere are just getting screwed. I mean, especially in music, they get like nothing. I know musicians who make nothing on the music, and they have lots of people listen to it, and they make like a penny, I don't know, off every like 100 listens or something. And I don't know how that's going to play out. I'm pretty sure music will be one of the big ones that we're talking about, if not soon, next year or two.
I know I've seen a lot of music NFTs. I've like co-hosted an interview with a few bands getting involved with NFTs. People are trying, but again, this is so early that there's not a lot of user interfaces for, a lot of these exchanges. Like, OpenSea is like the main one for ETH, even though there's a lot on ETH. There's still not a lot. There's not a lot of marketplaces. It's not particularly easy for creators to get started unless you really, really do your own research, step by step, do this right. I think it will get easier, and I think that will help onboard a lot of artists. That there just needs to be a little bit more development for like the average person to come in and use this. Because speaking personally, like minting on Wax a year ago was not easy. Granted, it got a lot easier using platforms like niftyblocks.com, but it's still early. It's still a little bit of work, a little bit of research, but a lot of bands, I think, want to take out that middleman, want to take out the record label.
Oh yeah, that's the first rule of business.
There's a lot of streaming. There's a lot of streaming platforms like a Spotify and things like that. People could get thousands and thousands of streams of people streaming their song a day, but get like a penny for it. Yep. But like if you minted your song as an NFT, then people own it. They buy it from you, so that's direct support. And then if someone wants to sell it to somebody else, you're still getting supported because you'll get those royalties. And then on top of that, if you want to get like real spunky with it, you could create your own social token. And let's say if you have 10,000 of Tom Crown's band token, they'll have a feature. They'll do a feature in your song, or 20,000 Tom tokens and he'll sing a song with you, or 50,000 Tom tokens and he'll help write the song with you.
He'll be your best friend.
Yeah, or 100,000 Tom tokens and he'll do a personal concert, which is actually an NFT that I know a band has done.
Really? That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I think I don't know if they sold it yet, but I think their band name is Light 45. And I think they're doing it on Ghost Market.
Never heard of it, but that's pretty dope. Yeah. I like the bridge. It's obviously centralized because you have the band, and the band then decides to do these things. If you have the token, it can't be enforced. Like the token can't force them to do it. But I think that is a trust relationship that people would be okay with. Money is not a trust relationship we're okay with in crypto. Probably money is really, trust is never really great in money, but something like that, when it's a fan style thing, I could see that bringing value to a lot of people.
I think so. I think, NFTs are a big, big way to help bridge the gap between creators, no matter what kind of creator you are and your audience. It's direct support to you. And of course the royalties are great, but it's a representation of you. And I think that, people that value you will value your content and your NFTs. So I don't know. I think especially for bands and artists and content creators of any form, it's a big, big way to help, also branch out your community. Just like give yourself a little extra zest, a little extra spice, even if there's not too much utility behind it. It could be something as simple as just buying an NFT to support somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, better than buying I remember CDs. You won't remember these things. They're silvery circles. They went in weird machines. No, I'm just kidding. And musicians would make nothing. You'd buy a CD for like 20. I don't even know. I don't remember anymore. Like 10, $20, and the musician would probably see none of that money. And that system just sucks. You're there because you like the music. You want to support the artist. You want them to keep making music. And at the end of the day, your purchase really doesn't impact them. It doesn't help them. That's what I would love to see NFTs do. Solve these situations where people are creating things and the middleman is really taking the whole pie. And hopefully that's the future of them.
Yeah, like I see a platform one day, like concerning music, like I'm just like thinking as we're talking, a platform where you go on there, people, like artists or musicians, they create their music NFTs through that platform and people can stream it. And if they stream it, they'll earn the platform's token, which can be used to buy other songs and things like that. But also you could trade these songs. Like if I had a mint #1 of Tom Crown's song, then people are going to send me offers for that.
No
and
one
that's
will offer
tradable.
you anything for that.
No. Yes, they would. I really feel like if you made a song, they would. But that it's tradable, which also gives the royalties back to the creators. It adds a little bit of utility. But I do see a platform for this one day, and I think there's a lot of people that are bringing in musicians now to do NFTs with them. But I haven't seen like one platform like that's great, like a Spotify with NFTs on it. But I think that even mainstream apps like Spotify and Apple Music will start to integrate NFTs very soon. I just feel it. I feel it in my bones.
I hope so. It's a hard question. Is centralized stuff, centralized anything rarely benefits from decentralizing, because the benefit of centralizing is they control it. That's their profit. They're able to control whatever, and they're able to set prices and make revenue. And so decentralizing is always a rough question as to like what would be their incentive. And the answer obviously has to be it would offset, whatever power they're giving up. So my hopes for well, I don't know. I say this and then what, like Nike and a whole bunch of big companies are starting to kind of randomly make NFTs, whether they're jumping on the hype or not. I don't know, probably. I lost my point, but kind of where I was going was the platforms right now are not ideal, I would probably say, but those platforms really didn't exist at all. I keep forgetting it's 2022, like a year plus ago. There just was nothing, and now we have a bunch of these well-known platforms, and
exactly.
This is kind of the theme in crypto for everything is it's not perfect right now, but it's moving so fast that there's really only one destination, and that's whatever, someone's going to make a platform for all these different things that works well and that is easy to use. And people will then go there because just market efficiency. That would be the best way for them to achieve or get the product they want or service. And it's only looking up. I have not invested in NFTs, but like they're not going anywhere. It's just like crypto.
Not at all.
Kind of the strength is that can't get rid of it.
I agree. Listen, maybe the technology behind NFTs, because they're just like they're any new technology. There's always criticisms and things that aren't perfect, but the concept is here. Like it's so bullish what's going on with NFTs and the future of this technology that we're so early in this that we'll probably be laughing in 10 years at the NFTs that we have now, just because we have something that's so new and so much more zesty that you could do so many more things with and so many more platforms. There, even the idea of multi-chain still isn't available to us yet, but people are figuring out bridges between cryptocurrencies and different chains. So that's how early we are too, that even multi-chain is still something we're trying to figure out. Bridges are still something we're figuring out. So again, like being in this space every day, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, NFTs, this is all something we're used to. We're just like, why hasn't everyone caught up with us yet? But there's still so many people that don't even know what Bitcoin is, which is extra bullish too, because we've already made so much headway in 13 years with just Bitcoin being around. Bitcoin has been around for 13 years. She's officially a teenager. She's growing up. She's going to mature. But yes, we're growing up. We're growing up, Tom. And, we're so early that in 13 years, Bitcoin has made people question the whole financial system, the way we transact. And now
So,
NFTs are questioning the way we decentralize, our assets. Yes, we need to decentralize our money, our value with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies alike, but we need to decentralize other things like certification, and that's where NFTs are going to come in. High school diplomas, NFTs.
100%. It makes no sense that they're done any other way, in my opinion. Like here's a piece of paper. Thanks. Like thanks.
Exactly, man.
Like what do I show this to people? No, you hang it in a room that no one goes in. Got it. No, certifications, absolutely. I actually was chatting with someone on Twitter. I just saw their post, randomly came up on my feed. It's not even someone I followed, and they had put their CFA, a certified financial advisor. I think that was it. I think that was their cert, like on the blockchain. And of course, this doesn't matter to like anybody right now, but it was like, of course, why wouldn't you do this? But like, why is it kept in any other way? Like in some computer somewhere, like in a college, like who cares?
Exactly.
I think that certifications actually makes sense. I'm scared kind of the idea of like identification being on blockchain, but I mean, just like everything else, it's kind of inevitable. It makes sense. It doesn't make sense to be able to print a piece of paper that has my name on it and then say that it's me.
Yeah, like there needs to be like that solid proof. And I don't think anyone has had solid proof of anything until blockchain, like even proof of where money goes. Like we haven't had that. Exactly. It didn't exist. With Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, like we actually are able to own our money once again. And this hasn't been a thing for a long time. So now we have such a big opportunity here. And again, we're still so early, but the world, like I think 80% of the world has a smartphone. I'm going to say at least, or has access to the internet. That's 80% of the world that's going to be using cryptocurrency soon. And it's only a matter of time. We might be like 2 to 3%, maybe less of that 80. But it's going to explode. Imagine when 5% get into crypto, what it's going to look like. Like, that's why we can't worry about these dips, because we have so much going on. There's still so many people coming into crypto. What's going to be the next year after seeing what 2021 was like?
Guy, I said this, I've been saying this for a while, is 2021, just in that year alone, more happened on a global scale. Whether like development wise, adoption wise, really just recognition wise, becoming a legal tender. When I started crypto, it was like a joke. It was not actually a joke, but it was, even the conversations were kind of not jokes, but you couldn't take them seriously. It was like no country will ever care about this. No one will ever actually do anything. That was like the big bear arguments all the time, was like, no one's ever going to actually care about crypto. And now, the IMF talks about crypto. It seems like every day some country is talking about a CBDC, whatever, a central digital bank.
Yeah.
That's all happened in 1 year. I argue that 1 year we've seen more happen development wise than all of the 12 years before it. And I fully think that this year we'll see the same thing happen again. I think there'll be so much change in just 1 year. The space may not be recognizable again. I think with 2021 may have been kind of summarized as dog coins and NFTs. Those are like the big headers. I never would have seen that coming. I think it's happening again.
I feel you. Like, I think also, talking on like the meme coin subject as well, it brought a lot of adoption. Like a lot of people, start questioning like all these dog coins, like, oh, like what's going on with that? I think, but maybe a lot of people did not buy into that, but it also had people questioning like, what is this coin? How does this relate to Bitcoin? What makes them different? And what is the blockchain in general? So again, like I think that brought a lot of adoption and brought a lot of questions as to what's going on with cryptocurrency. And I think also this movement that's going on over the past year has started to raise a lot of eyebrows for people, that this is just like a whole new market that's emerging very, very fast.
It's like so fast that you almost don't see movement. I need to like research relativity. I need to like take a little rabbit hole trip down relativity, because It's something. I don't know enough. I'm gonna sound like an idiot, but it's like when you're moving at the speed of light, says Einstein. Like everything else looks like it's moving slow or something around those lines. And that's really how I see crypto. Is it's moving so fast that it almost seems like nothing is happening. But again, just 1 year ago, totally wouldn't recognize the space today. It's exciting, man. I'm curious, what do you think is going to be the driver? Because we have mostly, I want to say, millennial Gen X here, and who knows what their opinions are on younger generations. I think historically we're supposed to hate younger generations, right? That's what we've been told. So no matter how we feel about them, I mean, you guys are next in line. Like, I don't see it in our analytics yet. Hopefully there's elsewhere, but like, just that's how time works, right? We hand stuff down over time. What do you see just from an insider's perspective? Are there people your age? Because I'll say in my age, I still don't see it. In real life, I really don't see. The only things I've heard from anyone I know is about Dogecoin and Shiba in the last year. I think that's really about it. But do you hear buzz from people, in real life? Maybe, I guess you do these interviews kind of on the street. That would count too.
Yeah.
But I really want to know, is Gen Z looking at crypto yet? If they are, what are they looking at? What do you think is going to be the driver for them into this space? Because it's a matter of time, in my opinion. You're not getting away.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, I did an interview a few weeks ago and I saw two teenagers around my age, asked them if they knew about Bitcoin. They had no clue, never heard of it. Then I also, was walking around the same day and I put out that interview today of two other Gen Z. They were a few years older and they were heavily invested into crypto, that this is the future. This is long term. So I think it's pretty 50-50. I think, like I said, there's a lot of education that needs to be spread. But Gen Z, we understand the concept of digital property. I think millennials as well. Growing up with video games and especially like on my phone, a lot of video games, buying digital coins to play with that game, even though there was no interoperability. People buying Fortnite skins.
V-Bucks.
Understand V-Bucks, exactly. Converting your dollars for another currency that you value as much as those dollars.
Yeah, so, technically more, because you're converting them.
Exactly, technically more. So I think that, Gen Z is going to come in like a wave. I think that, the rise of like, Elon Musk coming into this space and even Doge becoming popular as well. I think that brought a lot of Gen Z and it just grabbed their attention because memes are what grabs our attention. I'm going to it's not what makes us invest. It's not what makes us invest necessarily, but it's what grabs our attention, makes us think like, oh, what is this thing? And then maybe they'll go into Bitcoin. Personally, I've seen a lot of like getting text messages on my phone from people I knew from high school asking me like, oh my, I have $500. I want to go on Coinbase, like, or I'm on OpenSea. What's this gas fee that's costing me $200 or something like that? So like, I'm getting a lot of curiosity. A lot of people want to jump in. They just might not know how, but that's where the education comes in. And that's, what we still really need to push. That's what I've been pushing. And that's what you've been pushing as well. So we just got to like keep on with that education. But the Gen Z's here, they're interested. But once they fully come in, it's going to be a wave like we've never seen before.
Well, I mean, they have there's obvious hurdles. Like, well, I'm assuming most Gen Zs don't have a full-time job at the moment. Income. No. You need income to invest. So that's a big hurdle.
Exactly.
But that's, again, one that time is going to solve. They're going to have jobs eventually, hopefully.
Yes.
And then there's more barriers of, I don't know, I don't think you can just sign up on Coinbase without, being 18, can you? Actually, I don't actually even know.
So, I turned 18 February last year, going to be 19 in a month. That's so scary.
Oh, crap. I don't want to interrupt you, but when you turn 20, are you still going to be Miss Teen Crypto?
I get this question all the time, Tom.
Dang it. Never mind. Throw it away. I thought it was unique. Scrap it.
No, you're all good. I'm going to be Miss Teen Crypto forever and ever. Wait, my camera needs to focus. But yeah, I'm going to be Miss Teen Crypto. People will know I'm not a teen anymore, but I think that, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And, what do you have? Do you have any name suggestions? What should I do after I turn 20?
No, I think you should stay with Miss Teen Crypto. I like it. It's good.
Yeah.
It's like brand on, it's like
I've been doing
catering
this since
to
I was
the
17.
youngers, and it's your name. It's yours forever. Maybe you could do like MTC.
Yeah, people call me MTC now.
I just like that because I'm TC, so it's just
it's pretty baller.
Yeah, it's baller. That's awesome. I guess crypto didn't even really exist when I was your age, did it?
No. Bitcoin was created when I was 6.
When you were 6.
Yeah. I wish I got in, man.
I would make you guess that when you were 6. If only at least you it was so long ago that you don't have to beat yourself up over not getting into it.
I know, a lot of people do. But I knew about crypto since I was 13, and I didn't do anything about it because I was just ignoring my dad. I was like, yeah, whatever, get away from me. I wasn't paying attention, but that was because I was 13, I wasn't really thinking about it, but it was until I did the transaction that really clicked for me. But back to the Coinbase thing. No, you cannot create any account, whether it's Cash App, Coinbase, Gemini, whatever, unless you're 18. And the day I turned 18 is when I signed up for all this stuff. But alternatively, there is ATMs like CoinFlip that you could go up to, give a phone number, they scan your wallet. If you're making a purchase of $900 and under, there's no KYC. But being in New York, it's extra annoying because we don't get crypto ATMs are illegal.
Yeah, New York sucks. Sorry.
If you find one, then it's probably gonna charge you a lot with fees. And a lot of the time, if you go up to those ATMs, then the rates are off too. So let's say Bitcoin's 41 grand, it'll tell you Bitcoin's 45 or something like that.
They're charging you a spread for sure.
And then it's the fee on top of that. So it's a little crazy, but that's why I'm saying we need to lower this barrier to entry. There needs to be a way, just like a kid could take his mom's credit card and go buy V-Bucks. There needs to be a way for these little kids to go buy Bitcoin and other tokens that they could play with in games. Because another thing,
that's the argument,
NFT
isn't
gaming.
It? That should be the argument. It's why can a kid go buy V-Bucks but he can't buy Bitcoin?
I've had a bank account or whatever, even though I'm pretty much unbanked now, I think I was allowed to open a bank account when I was 13. Why can't I create a Coinbase account if I'm 13? Why can I put money in the bank, but I can't put money in crypto?
Oh, because the banks are all scams. I mean, they want to get you early.
Oh my god.
They want to get you early, right? Oh yeah, New York is definitely the hardest. New York itself doesn't suck, but it definitely sucks for crypto from everything I've seen. It's whenever there's an exemption, it's this and this, except for, and it's always in fine print New York, NY, or what Alaska maybe. It's always, you guys so are strict.
It's terrible because there's so many interesting coins that I wanted to jump into or play with because there's a lot of games and platforms now that you could use tokens and do stuff with, and I just can't get it. It's just not an option. They're oh, too bad. And, I think, of course, this is going to improve. I think this is also going to, things like this are going to push for the rise of DEXs.
Oh, yeah.
But again, even if a kid has, a DEX in front of them, anyone could go on Uniswap. But it's how do you get that ETH to begin with?
Mm-hmm, of course.
That's the problem. And unless there are games that you could play and earn a few satoshis or whatever, but there's nothing that can really help you get started in that journey, give you your crypto and get on with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't actually think of that. That's a pretty cool thought is, there has always been that tie of you have to have a bank account because you have to transact from dollars to whatever in order to then go forward and do whatever you want with it. But yeah, the rise so far of play to earn, actually that's an interesting spin. I really never thought of this, is that is technically a way to get some kind of asset that you might be able to trade and then enter that space without ever going through a bank bridge first. That's actually pretty cool. I don't know, I never thought of that.
A lot of play to earn games, you have to make an initial investment to play. There are a few, that's a lot of things with play to earn games. The upside could be great, but unless you have that initial investment, then but play to earn games have also changed a lot of people's lives. I know that games like Axie Infinity, even though I haven't been able to get in it yet, a lot of people in the Philippines have gotten into Axie Infinity and earned so much by playing this game that they earned more than they would working over a year. And they're making enough to support their family and their livelihoods using play to earn crypto games. That is so powerful in itself that it just shows that even though, again, we're so early, it's making so much impact. And there's no telling how much impact it's going to make in the next 2 years or 1 year, 6 months.
Yeah. It's so wild. The longer you're in crypto, the more everything just circles back to itself with these same concepts. And what you just said about, and I know I've said this before too, but kind of like impoverished countries, let's say, or countries where people are making literally pennies a day or a year. I don't even know what that metric is. They can stand to gain from, these play to earn models potentially. But I've always been an advocate of crypto is going to adopt from the bottom up, meaning the smallest, most, how do I say this gently? The kind of financially most oppressed countries are going to have the most to gain from it. And then countries like the US or Europe, the big financial kind of powerhouses of the world, they're of course going to be the last ones to fully embrace it, or at least they'll be likely the last ones to benefit from it, if that makes sense. They have maybe the most to lose. And it's funny how this is always a concept. It's like the poorest stand to gain the most in crypto. And people always want to argue against that and say, oh, well, they get wrecked and lose all their money. It's not literal in that sense. It's more of like an overall concept of it's always going to be attractive to those who are already in a bad position because it gives them a way out. And I think even that applies to my life and my generation of we got boned and the world really doesn't look like it's going to go any great way. And crypto is like this one kind of shining star of like, hey, things can actually be very different. It's not all controlled the way I thought it was potentially.
I'm so with you. Gen Z and millennials, we're the generations with the most knowledge, literally at our fingertips. We are the most educated generation, but we have the least wealth. There has to be something wrong with that. That's why, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, this can even out the playing field for us. This could give us a whole new opportunity. And again, we're so early that we have a lot of opportunity here. And look at all the people that are, play to earn games or just getting into crypto itself. And, by El Salvador, countries like that getting involved in crypto, these are the countries that are going to benefit the most. The people, the governments and countries that stay behind, they're going to get hurt and they're going to have to catch on eventually. Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, it's all inevitable. It's just a matter of when they're okay, we have to give in at this point. But it should, instead of waiting until that moment to give in, just get on the bandwagon, learn about it. There's already been so much discussion. Get in it, at least get involved. People see the value. And people see the value in cryptocurrency. I think everyone knows it's not going anywhere.
It's such a change though. It's wild to me. It's just so different from, it's way less time ago than people would think. These weren't concepts that people accepted. They're like, crypto is magic internet money. I love that term.
I like it too. I think it's funny.
It was very conspiracy, and it's really come out of the shadows over the last year into something that's I hate that Elon term. I hate that he coined it, but yeah, it's the best quote. It's inevitable. It's all inevitable. It's what it is. It doesn't
really
mean
is.
You're rich tomorrow. It doesn't mean it goes up tomorrow, but it means it just can't be stopped. That's the true strength of blockchain, period. Nothing's ever existed that's been unstoppable in this sense, except I guess you can say very similar technology, BitTorrents. I don't know, are you familiar with BitTorrents? Back, we used to have to pirate everything on the internet in the day. But BitTorrents is set up really similarly. It's decentralized, meaning you're downloading it from a bunch of different users all over the world. You're getting little segments from each of them. And so in that sense, it makes it impossible to shut down basically. And we have proof of that as Pirate Bay is the big name, I guess, or was. I don't pirate stuff anymore because I don't have a need to. Streaming services, yay. They have been taken down and are right back up over and over again for a decade, 2 decades. It's the same decentralized, if you don't have one point of failure, it becomes very difficult to take something down.
Yeah. I mean, Bitcoin, blockchain, it just can't be stopped. And I think people are going to start to see the value 100% and actually being able to own your assets, trade it as you want it. And this is something that's it's 24/7, not just Monday to Friday, 9 to 5.
You want to know a fun fact? So because crypto is traded 24/7, stocks are traded very picky time frames.
Selectively, yeah.
Yeah, I think I forget how many hours in a day, and then you have to remove weekends, holidays, etc. But what that means is that crypto from the year start to the year end trades 5 times more. 5 more, so 1 year in stock or 1 year in crypto is 5 years of trading time on stocks and other assets. I think that's wild.
Insane. Why doesn't anyone talk about this? Like, why doesn't anybody talk about this? Like, I know on channels like CNBC and things like that, they talk about crypto all day, every day. But that's just a point that needs to be validated. Like this, like stocks, like you said, it's a selective time that they're traded, and that trading is controlled. Whereas Bitcoin cryptocurrency, this is not this is like a literal free market.
Yeah, I actually want to pull up a chart. You might not be able to see it. But I want to pull up the S&P 500 today because there'll be a delay. I can describe it to you. Okay. It started down actually. If we don't count the gap, the S&P 500 started out 1.71% today, which is like what, just a fraction. I think it's like a fraction of a percent from trading being halted. I think 2% is the first. I think it's 2% is the first switch. Either way, a bunch of gibberish rules, right? It's just not a market that's allowed to trade. We see it bouncing a little bit since the start, but literally they were probably seconds away from pulling the breaker on it. Oh no, it went down too much. Got to stop. I don't know how anyone can believe in stocks. I just don't get it. And this isn't a criticism to anybody out there who is a big stock person, but it's like, in what way is it real to people? It's like, look at GME and AMC. There were more shares outstanding short than existed, and somehow never really had to cover. It seems like obviously like scam. Really, I think stocks are a scam. I don't own any stocks, which is a bad idea. You should be diversified, everybody. But you can only trade them sometimes. You wake up and it's down, like literally you go to bed and then no trading is done and you wake up and it's at a different price. Like I don't see how that's fair or makes any sense to anybody.
I mean, I'm not too knowledgeable on that. Same. I wish I knew like the reason behind it and everything like that. But like, I'm definitely like focused on cryptocurrency because, even something like the stock market, that infrastructure, how they do everything is going to change. People are going to want to see how much money is flowing into the stock. Where is it coming from and who's investing in it?
They don't, I feel like that they hate sharing that information. We're going to see a lot of that in government, I think, this year with insider trading and politicians trading. I think that's going to be a big deal in 2022. I can feel it boiling.
Listen, blockchain, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, it's showing people that it's possible to be transparent, especially with Web3 and NFTs. It's showing people that you could see where the money goes and you could see what's going on. And I think that's going to change a lot of different things, from regular collectibles to schools and things like that, like charities, even like what's going on with charities and their funding. I think that people are going to want the transparency.
I do. I want it. I think people who are really rich might not, but I want it.
I guess we'll just see how this all pans out. But I'm very bullish on 2022. I'm very excited. Yeah, I'm just like bullish on Bitcoin forever. Like not even 2022, like just like forever. Like, you know what I mean?
Same. Same. Like I had that moment. Do you remember your moment in your head where it all just like clicked? Because I think almost everyone has. Maybe not everybody remembers, but because at some point we hear about it, everyone, and we're like, that sounds silly. And then we have some conversation or learn something, and you just have that moment of like, oh my gosh, this all makes sense.
Yeah. And, like I was saying before, my dad got me into the space. He was telling me about Bitcoin when I was 13 years old, straight up ignored him, thought he was nuts. Dad. Oh yeah, for sure.
Shout out.
Shout out. Yes. Yeah, I 13, I was like, you're not, like, don't talk to me about this anymore. And then when I was 16, he was like, okay, like, let's chill, sit down, let me show you how it works. And he transferred Bitcoin to me like so quick. Scan a QR code, copy and paste an address. I was like, whoa, like, okay, I could potentially go into a store, they scan my phone and I leave without having to give them my fiat, my change, and then get all like that change back that like I'm literally never going to use, because like who uses their pennies, their nickels and anything? If you live in New York, you're going to stack your quarters for the meters. But you know, no one's really using these coins anymore. I literally know kids that said they throw their pennies in the garbage.
I've been doing that for a long time. I take them and I roll them down the street. I like developed a technique, and it's worth 1 cent of entertainment to me.
Are you?
I swear to, I've been doing that since I was a little kid. Pennies.
That's actually great.
Just what is? I don't understand why we still have pennies, to be honest.
Well, what can you do with the penny, man? Like I haven't ever used a penny for anything, and I've never paid with coinage for anything. Like, and now if you go into stores, especially in the city, they're going to tell you have to give exact change because there's a coin shortage. So that's why Bitcoin, like everything, like, I don't know about you, but like I'll be walking on the street or I'll be in a store, I'll be like, Bitcoin fixes this, NFTs fix that, Bitcoin fixes this, why isn't this tokenized? You know, it's just because everything is just going to tie into crypto. And, you know, it's such a crazy conversation because there's just so many avenues we can go down.
I love that it's all positive, though. I really can't name many things that people are positive on right now in the world. And I mean, people are probably scared and not feeling great about crypto right this second or the price, but that's because they're looking at it every day.
Yeah, like at this time last year, we were kind of like very happy with 41K Bitcoin.
We were ecstatic with 41K. Freaking out. So, like, going nuts. And now we're scared of it.
Yeah, there's nothing to be worried about, man. Like, we're, again, like, be bullish. Like, we're zesty. We're here. We're all going to make it. And we just, again, we got to be patient. And, you know, not everything is going to come so quick. And I think that goes for like everything, not just like Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And just like, you have to, you know, even though it might hurt like your dollar wallet, like, don't worry about it. This is a space that's coming so fast and has done so much that there's no reason to doubt it. Price action, don't worry about it.
Has anyone ever introduced to you the idea of, I don't know if you have your portfolio, if you have like software and you look at it, but looking at your portfolio in sats, not in dollar value.
Oh, I love sats.
So I don't know, not all software will do this, but this is really how I've looked at it since I started is what is my Bitcoin value? And the verbiage is confusing because people are like, what do you mean? So instead of seeing like your portfolio is worth $1,000, it's your portfolio is worth 0.00, 02
something Bitcoin.
Something.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever thought of that?
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, this is a crazy conversation too, because I've been telling people for so long that I do not value things in dollars anymore. I value them in Bitcoin. Like, okay, Bitcoin, you know, one Bitcoin today is $41,000. It was 39 earlier today, but one Bitcoin is always going to be worth one Bitcoin. Like, that's never going to go away. So I'm very with that, and looking at things in satoshis again, like that's great as well. I'm watching the metrics of that too. Like, if you join, I know you just joined my Telegram this morning, Tom, but my Telegram group, there's a very special person, Bitcoiner. I know he's in the chat. He created a bot called Botcoiner, and if you put in calc, so like /calc in my chat, it'll tell you like what a dollar is in sats and like how many sats is a dollar, vice versa. And that's just something like that's very interesting to pay attention to, because people don't even think about Bitcoin in terms of satoshis. Because like it's like a flaw. It's a flaw. I feel it was an accident in the beginning. I wish that the even term like a Bitcoin just never existed, because it gets in people's heads. You know, they think oh, it's too late. I can't afford a Bitcoin, but what if we call if we call one satoshi a Bitcoin? Now all of a sudden, one Bitcoin is what, pennies? But now you have
times 100 million of however many you had. And then like it gets past that. I think that that'll be when we see the craziest Bitcoin time will be whenever that, because it's inevitable in my opinion. We're not going to keep calling it a Bitcoin. We're going to eventually change the denomination because it won't make sense. You know, like it doesn't make sense to like, okay, 100 million satoshis are a Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Why not 10 million or
it's just like a little complicated. Like,
I think people will buy it if it's like a penny. You know, like we can do this on TradingView. Just divide Bitcoin by 100 million.
Yeah, 1 cent is 24 sats right now. Like, imagine you were like, oh, for $1 you could buy 2,393 of this coin, and I think like people could look at it like one of those small tokens that are a few cents each.
People literally buy them because of that.
Exactly. So why wouldn't you do that with Bitcoin?
I guess we have to get everyone on the same page because that's the kind of I feel like all be done at once. Wait, is it?
Yeah.
Is one sat?
Yeah, I did the calc thing in my chat from the bot. 100 sats is 4 cents, and
100 sats, yes.
And then 1 cent is 24 sats, and $1 is around 2,400 sats, a little under.
Yeah, I'm getting 0.0416. So I just think that people, for just kind of the stupidity of humans, sorry humans, like that would be a huge change, and literally nothing would change supply wise. Nothing, no value would fluctuate for anyone. No one would own more or less Bitcoin or something all of a sudden. It would literally just be, I don't know, where we put the decimal and how we look at it. I think that would make a huge change. Like, it's too expensive, but you could just add a 0 in front of it and like it's the same thing, just a decimal place. I don't know.
Yeah, I think when people really start going into crypto, I think like people will denominate things in sats. Like whether you're paying in Litecoin or Digibyte or Bitcoin, like
Digibyte.
Things are going to be denominated in Bitcoin.
She just said Digibyte. You get my 2 thumbs up.
I say Digibyte because and Litecoin as well. It's just very like easy to transact with, and it's so fast, and it's literally you press the button and it's there. Super cheap.
I did not pay her to say this, everyone. I did not. I swear.
No, people know. Like on my OG, like I wish I had one on me. Like my OG seed cards that I would go and interview people with, it had a Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Digi on it. That was like my first edition cards, and then I started switching them up a little bit. But I listen, if people start accepting like actual peer-to-peer money, I would pay with either Litecoin or Digibyte to get a cup of coffee.
You became one of my favorite people with that comment. Litecoin, Bitcoin, and Digibyte in the same sentence. You guys heard it here. Wow, we are. No one else says these things anymore.
I don't know. I'm just like trying to like speak my facts and like my truth. Like I don't know. Like when I look at crypto, I'm like, how would I use this? What would I use it for? Mm-hmm. And that's kind of how I or at least at the beginning, that's how I went about things. And I think that's kind of still how I go about things. But I think it's very important to see like what would you use to buy a cup of coffee if that was a possibility.
I love the New York accent, coffee. I love it. I'm going to start calling it coffee. I think it's a better way to say it.
CAWFFE.
Coffee, yeah, I like it. Man, Bitcoin has been very calm for us. It has not moved through this whole time. It was a little
spicy before we went live.
I was a little worried. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. If it's real crazy, we're probably going to have to like do a lot of chart stuff, and then it hasn't gone anywhere.
Yeah.
At all.
I mean, listen, again, like Bitcoin would be spicy sometimes, but it saw we were going live, and it's like, all right, like let me like hang out and watch Tom's stream. We'll see what happens after.
Yeah, it probably the whales watch. They will.
The whales are tuning in.
They do. As soon as I turn this off, it'll move.
Watch like Michael Saylor buy like another like 20,000 Bitcoin right now and just smash by, show all of us what's up.
I could see that. I could see that.
He does it every time.
He does. I love Saylor.
I mean, listen, if he wants to donate 1 Bitcoin to me, I'll like definitely take it.
Agreed. How about just hit Saylor 1 each? Just
One
one each.
each.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Please. Sailor. Oh my gosh, that would be
hold it.
great. I wish I was like Mr. Beast and I had like a bunch of like cash and Bitcoin. Like I would love to like do like a huge like 1 Bitcoin giveaway and like I don't even have 1 Bitcoin and like this is what I'm talking about.
Someday.
One day.
Oh.
One day. Like, oh my gosh. I get so excited when I talk about crypto and stuff. Like this has been like very fun hanging out with you, Tom. Like you're like really cool.
Thank you. I try. Actually, I don't try. People just tell me that.
No, you're just like you're effortlessly spicy, as you were saying before. You like spicy.
Very spicy.
You are spicy.
Thank you. Well, you've complimented me. You've said the words Digibyte and Litecoin and Bitcoin in the same sentence. Like this is probably the best special guest I've ever had. So everybody, you got to go follow her. You gotta follow her. Links below at Misc Crypto. Oh man, it's been an hour. It felt like I don't know, like 20 minutes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's literally 2:16 right now. That's freaking nuts. Oh my god, that's my birthday. Wow.
Don't dox yourself. We'll cut that out.
There's a lot of zest in the air.
There's a lot of zest. Well, Bitcoin's literally waiting for the stream to end. You can see literally. It on the chart. It's like it's writing in cursive. Tom, turn the stream off. I know you're a busy lady, so I can let you go unless you had anything else you were wanted to get out there. I know you're dropping some NFTs in the chat. Everybody get their NFTs.
Yes, if you guys want to check out my NFTs, visit misccrypto.com. I have an about section if you want to learn more about me. I have an NFT page with all of my drops that are open and collectibles from the secondary market if the drop has ended. If you guys want to check me out, I'm on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Clubhouse, all at Misc Crypto. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will be going live tomorrow with the Misc Crypto show and Friday. I have 2 shows this week. Very nice guests. I'm very excited. And I just want to let everybody know that, like, again, we're all going to make it. I hope everybody stays zesty, stay bullish on Bitcoin, and of course, keep hanging out with Tom. Like, he's so cool. Thank you, Tom, for having me. Like, you're the best.
Of course, it was a pleasure. Yeah, this is perfect. I think we should end it before I ruin it. Then Bitcoin can run, and then I'll stream again. I'll do another stream. Yeah, sounds good.
Do it. It's zesty.
Thanks for being here. I guess.
Thank you.
I guess that's good, and keep an eye out, everybody, because let's see, 42.1. If it breaks 42.1, I'll go live again, and we'll do some charting.
Let's do it. Let's go Bitcoin.
All right. Awesome. Thanks for joining us, guys. Make sure you subscribe, smash the like buttons. Thanks for getting us to 50K. Freaking wild. Well done.
Let's go.
Yeah. And let's get Misc Crypto to 50K now. So she's up next.
Let's go. 50K. Let's get it.
Bitcoin's coming. All right. How about we'll get Bitcoin to 50K, then you to 50K, and then
all right.
Something, right? Question mark.
Dope.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. It was a great stream. We'll do something with this video. Love y'all. Have a great day.
Peace.
All right.